I'm going to get started with the royal icing first because I think that's a great place to start. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this product that you can purchase on. Can you see that with the light? I want to make sure it's visible. Here, you know what? I'm going to switch cameras. Okay,
There we
so I
go.
think you can probably see that better. So this product is, yeah, this product is Fluff and Stuff. It's made by Susan Trianos, and she's out of Canada. And I love this product. I started using it probably about a year ago, and I love it so much that I do include a sample pack of this in my subscription box every month. And I love the product. It's to me, it's like it's foolproof. I feel as though royal icing is a difficult task to master, and I feel like this takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And I'm going to show you today how super easy it is. I feel like it comes together so fast, so easy that basically anybody can do it, and that's why I include that in my box. I would like to mention that it is titanium dioxide free. I know that in the world we live in, there's a lot of discussion in the bakery world about using natural products and using natural colors. So if you're interested in having titanium dioxide free, and that's kind of a white coloring agent, a whitening agent. This product, it does not contain that. So I think it has, really it's a more of a natural product. So if that's important to you, that's another reason that Fluff and Stuff is actually a good choice for you. So I just wanted to mention that. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to put together. Now, with this particular meringue powder, you do not have to add corn syrup. You do not have to add flavoring, but every baker sometimes likes to do their own little bit extra. So I do add a little bit of corn syrup. I do add the flavoring I like because I love this cookie nip. I put it in my cookies and I put it in all my royal icing, but you can actually do the Fluff and Stuff recipe right on the package without anything extra besides the meringue powder, the water, and the confectioner sugar. So I'm going to show you my method, and we'll take it from there. So I'm making a larger batch. So this is 60 grams of Fluff and Stuff, and I measure everything in grams because that's that's how I've been trained. And this is 150 grams of water, and I pour that right in. And I like to mix it first by hand. I whisk it together because I want to get the meringue powder completely dissolved. To me, that's key, so that when your royal icing is in your icing bag, you don't have any lumps. So I like that to be whisked up really nicely, and it only takes a minute. Some people like to use warm water. That's fine too. You can use cold or warm water, but if you look in the bowl, you can really see there aren't any lumps. So it's really come together nicely. So I'm going to take my sugar, and this recipe is for a 2-pound bag of sugar, and I'm going to pour that all in at once. And pop it on my mixer. And I think I've got the angle so you'll be able to see it. And you use the paddle attachment. You don't use a whisk. You want to put as little air in it as possible. And what I like to do is I have a KitchenAid Professional 6, so it's a 6-quart, and I put it on, once it starts to come together, I like to put it on speed 4. And I only do that for a minute or two. It's all come together, and this is the time that I go ahead and I add my cornstarch, and I just do like 1 glug. That's real scientific right there. 1 glug of corn syrup. And, it's not an exact science. Baking is, somewhat of an exact science, but a couple of these things I sort of measure by the heart. And then I also put my flavoring in because that's my favorite flavoring. And then we're just going to continue on. And in approximately 5 minutes, we're going to have beautiful meringue powder.
Excellent. We do have one question from Kelly Basher. She said, "Do you prefer to use cane sugar? Do you prefer to use cane sugar, or do you also use beet sugar?"
You know, I think there's a lot of beet sugar that's out there. If you can use cane sugar, I think it's better. But, there's just, I've used both, and I can't say that I found really a big difference. Can you still hear me if the mixer is on?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Um, okay. So I think, I've had good luck with both. I prefer cane sugar if possible, but sometimes beet sugar is all you can get. And pretty much everything is beet sugar unless it says cane sugar on the package. So I think most of the time I am using beet sugar. And this is going to beat up really quickly. I feel like it's such a reliable recipe and it's such a reliable product. Like, even if you're having a day when there's a lot of humidity, I feel like my royal icing still reaches a good peak really quickly. But adjusting the water and or the meringue powder, depending on where you live. I know folks that live in Florida, it can sometimes really be difficult with respect to using meringue powder. It can be really hard and really challenging sometimes. So we're not quite at 5 minutes yet, but I'm just going to show you. We're kind of at a soft peak. Do we have time for me to beat it all the way for the 5 minutes, do you think, or should we just
Yeah, no, go
move on to
ahead.
the next?
I have a question actually, because I noticed you said you add corn syrup, but there are corn syrup solids in there. Is there a reason you add additional corn syrup?
I feel like for me, it gives just that little extra soft bite.
Okay, gotcha.
I feel like I really get a better soft bite. Um, but it's really personal preference. I mean, I don't think you don't need to add it. You really don't.
Yeah,
You don't need to add it. But I've gotten used to it from using different brands. I always added it, and I sort of feel like I'm missing something if I don't add it.
gotcha. Does anybody else have any other questions while we're waiting for this to finish up? You can keep mixing.
Okay. I just want to make sure you'll have to talk a little bit louder for me when the mixer's
Okay.
on. Actually, I think we're there. And
Perfect.
when you look at this, okay, so I'm getting a nice peak, and it's not really jiggling. And look at how beautiful and white it is. I mean, there's no titanium dioxide in here. Look at how beautiful and white it is. So, I mean, I think that really speaks to this being a super quality product. I really
Yeah.
love it. And another thing I'm going to show you, I'm bringing over another bowl. So I made this on Sunday, and I've had a damp cloth sitting over it because I'm working on some projects. And if you take a look at it, it's barely separated at the bottom, and that was 2 days ago.
That's
So this
crazy.
is 2 days sitting on my counter. Now it does lose some of its consistency. So I would say you're probably at an outline consistency, but who cares? I mean,
That's great. That's really great.
it really is wonderful. And I really think, yeah, I think it's a great, great product. And what I would say is when you're finished with your roll icing, typically what I would do is put it in my little deli containers and throw it in the freezer because it really does, it sort of freezes it in time. So it stops the separating. It allows you to have fresh icing all the time right out of the freezer. So as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I'm finished with it, if I'm not using it right away, it goes right in the freezer and it can stay for a good long time. People do always ask, well, how long can you keep it? How long can you keep it? I always feel like 6 months is safe to say that
Wow.
you could keep it for 6 months. I've never really had occasion to keep it any longer than that, but I have used it. I've done testing and I've used it up to 6 months old and tried it out, not on cookies that I was going to be using for a client, but just, to just test it out and see how it was. And no problem at all. No deterioration in quality or flavor or anything like that. I put it to the consistency I needed it, and I was able to use it. So I just want to, really impress on people that this product I think is really amazing. Really amazing. Look at that. I mean, just the time that we were on this call, look at how fast that whipped up. It's beautiful. It's so fluffy. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous royal icing. So it's definitely got my vote, and I hope I can encourage people to use it because it's super easy. I remember with other products, it'd be like, well, it all depends. And I finally got there with being able to have my own method to get to where I needed the consistency to be for it to get to that stiff peak. But 5 minutes was never, really enough. So, that's my plug for this royal icing. And I hope, you found this part helpful. If you're struggling with royal icing, you really should try the fluff and stuff and see if that's something that could work for you. Are there
Great.
any
That's
questions
excellent.
about royal icing? Otherwise, I'll move on to the next topic.
I think we're ready to go to the next. We were just chatting about it in the back, in the back questionings, comments, but there are no questions right now.
Okay,
I want to see
perfect.
you.
Okay, perfect.
I want to see you run again. Go.
All right. All right, I'm going to get this off of the counter here so we've got some space.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm going to move I just have to move the mixer off my desk here, and we are going to move on to some really fun stuff.
And guys, Fluff and Stuff is
Okay,
on sale on our website as well.
all right, there we go. Okay, awesome. So here we go. One more look at that package.
And
Beautiful.
that's a
Fluff and
five
stuff,
pound
guys.
bag.
It's the way to go.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, it's the 5 pound bag. Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to bring over some cookies to show you, and then I'm going to talk you through some steps on how to use Flexfrost sheets and smart sheets to make some really cool designs. So I'm going to go, let's see. All right, I'm going to show them to
You with us, sweetie? Hello. Did we lose her? Did we lose me? Is anybody out there? Can you hear her or I? There I am. I'm back. We must have lost her for a second. What do you all think so far? This is really excellent information. And what's interesting to me is how um, she uses a different recipe, but still is able to do it. And I think one of the things that we've discovered is the length of time in which you beat it. Some people beat it and they don't beat it enough. So um, Chef P will be coming back in just a second. And so we'll just hold on just for a minute. Does anybody have any questions right now? I did mention that the Fluff and Stuff is on sale right now for $19.99. And we also have samples that we sell for $5. And we have a coupon on there, I think, to basically give you back the $5 as well. Um, Seems cool. I've never made a cookie. Well, Mary, now's your chance. And you can sign up for Chef P's Cookie Kit and Caboodle. And she's going to be doing a giveaway as well. And she can lead you right into those cookies really easily. We put the website back up once again. Oh, here we go. We're back. I'm disappearing again. Bye, guys.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know where we left off, but I was showing my pumpkins. I don't know if you saw those.
No, we did not. So you were just moving
And
everything
then,
aside.
oh, okay. Okay. So here's my tall pumpkin made with Flexfrost lace and my other pumpkin also with Flexfrost lace. And then these are die cuts made with smart sheets, and I'm going to show you how to do those. And these are also, this is lace using Flexfrost. And this one I love. I love this. I love this sort of rustic latte cup. So these are die cuts. It makes it look like we've got little ghosts floating around in our latte cup. And then this is a smart sheet that I embossed. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that is pretty.
And it makes it look like you've really, yeah.
Did we lose her again? Or is it me? She's holding that position a little too long. Sorry about that, guys. It was been a whole night of technical issues. I know I had them here, but I got mine cleared up. She'll be right back. She'll be right back, I promise. Who here has tried the Flex Frost? Let us know. And I saw she embossed that Flex Frost. What do you think, Becky? Becky loves embossing with smart sheets, and Becky's coming on live next week, and she's going to be playing with those smart sheets as well. So I'm excited for that. I know technology is great when it works. Most of the time, it works just fine. Hi, Mary. So we'll just be patient. We've had lives through the years, and Don's live I think was the worst, where he came up for maybe 3 minutes and then disappeared, and then came back on for 3 minutes and then disappeared, and we did that the whole night. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. But this, she'll be right back. And yes, you can print on smart sheets. There's two sides to the smart sheet. There's a smooth side that when you print on it, it looks like it's high definition, and then a textured side, which looks like a matte photo. It's really cool. And Kelly, I can't believe you haven't tried Flex Frost. Oh my gosh, you got to try it. Flex Frost lace colored in black for Halloween. Yes, and we do sell black Flex Frost. I think we're out right now. We're waiting for our order to come in, but yes, you can color it black. Flex Frost rocks. It is pretty cool. And I'll also tell you a little secret, but this is all I could tell you, is we're testing some new sheets out. And they've just gone out to another tester to see what they think. So we may have new things for you. Um, you need an edible printer, Bobby. And we that's what we do. That's what Icing Images does. We have different types, and we can help you find out what works best for you. And we're back with Chef P. So we saw the cookies, and now what? You
Oh my God. Okay, so we saw the cookies. So I'm gonna show you how I make my lace. So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna get my Flexfrost sheets. So here's the product that I use, Flexfrost, and it comes it comes like this on a with a backing. And this piece that you peel off, this piece that I'm peeling off here, is what you're going to use to make your lace. So let me go to the overhead camera so you can watch. So I'm just going to, what I like to use, I prefer to use the Sugarveil mats. And the reason I like to use them is because the indentation is not too deep. When the indentation is super deep, it makes it really, really thick, and it doesn't look as delicate. So like I got this off of Amazon, and it makes some pretty lace, but it's awfully thick. So I made some lace, and it is pretty, but it's very thick. The What you can make with the Sugarveil sheets is nice and thin and airy. So it's more, it's very flexible. You can, bend it, you can kind of mold it, and it looks very delicate. You can see, I think just by looking at this, it's so much thicker. So I'm not a big fan of these types of silicone molds for making the lace. Anyway, okay, so what I do first is I tear off a piece of the Flexfrost about the size of what I think I'm going to be doing. So we'll do these hearts. So probably one sheet, maybe a little bit more, will be enough to cover all of these. So the first thing I do is I will dip it in water and then drop it in another bowl. So I'm just gonna dip it in the water and just like soak it for just, it's really a matter of just a few seconds. And then I lift it up, let it drip off a little bit, and then I drop it in the bowl next.
up. Oh no. Are we going to do the 3 minute Don? We're doing the 3 minute Don, guys. Sorry, guys. Oh, Hillary, I'm sorry your horses are sick. Now this is going to be interesting because I can see as she's starting, she's doing it differently than the instructions, and that's okay because there's many different ways to use it and create your own lace. And I know that Crystal commented about more colors. The reason why we sorry, the reason why we don't offer too many colors is then it ends up sitting on people's shelves as well as ours. So we find if we offer just the popular ones, people can make their own colors just by adding a little bit of food coloring or gel, or even painting it afterwards, and even adding luster dust. So, Crystal, I do it your way, but there's several ways to do it. It's whatever works best for you. I know some people make a mix out of it and then spread it like a paste. It's what works best. Do I hear something? I might hear B. Oh, I heard something. All right, so you put it in you wet it,
So
you let it dip. I mean, let it drip, and then you put it
yeah,
into your bowl.
and then I added some coloring, and you make like a paste out of it. You don't want it so wet that it's really falling off of your spatula, which this is not. It's definitely like toothpaste. And then I'll just go ahead and take my mold, and I'll use my offset spatula, and I'll just spread it. Just spread it in.
And what kind of coloring did you add to it
It's it's gel food coloring by Americolor.
Gotcha. Okay. Because that's a
So I
nice
use
black you got
gel,
there.
not water base, and the color is maroon.
Oh, it's maroon. Okay.
So we'll make a couple of hearts. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
Now
is
I can see
maroon.
it.
Yeah.
I can see it now. I was like, I have my screen all the way on bright because I'm in a hotel room, so my lights aren't quite right here.
Then what I do is I take a bowl scraper, which um, you want one that's not, you don't want to use a metal scraper. You want to use a rubber, something with a rubber edge. And then I just go ahead and scrape it from the top down and it takes off the excess and you've got a perfect design. And then, save all this because you can use that for another design. So there you have it. It's in your mold. I put it on a 180, 175 to 180 degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. So we're going to pop it in right now.
And it can be dried at room temperature if you just want to let it go, if you have the time. And then some people actually just put it in the oven with the light on and
Yes,
the
you
door
can.
closed.
Yes.
Yeah, many options.
Yes. Oh, there are so many. Yes, I've let it dry in front of a fan. It depends on what you need and when you need it. So I'm always in a hurry. So I like to speed up my process. So here's what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. So did some today so that I could show you so we wouldn't have to wait. So this is what it looks like when it comes out. And basically what I just do is I just give it a little tug just to sort of separate it from the edges, just a little tug. And then I'll just gently, and it's starting to come off by itself. I'll just peel back the blue and peel off the lace, just like that.
And that's the new trick you just taught me is I never did the tug, but that
Just
totally
very,
makes sense.
yeah, I just kind of give it a tug. It sort of breaks it away from the edge so that a little bit, you can get it started a little bit. This has got a lot of filigree and it's very open. So sometimes you have to be just a tiny bit more careful because you don't want to break it. But isn't that beautiful? I mean, look at how pretty those are.
Wow.
And you can do a lot. So let's see. Let me, I have another, what I did with this cookie was I took some hearts. Let me move that so you can see it. So I took hearts and then I just laid the top part here like in three parts just to give it some decoration. It just elevates the cookie a little bit. Then I did something else with another cookie. Right over here. Okay. So I took another pumpkin cookie and I laid down some white royal icing and I put some lace pieces on top. No real specific pattern, but what I wanted to do, what I thought I would do, flood the cookie in orange for a pumpkin, but I'm going to have the eyes and the mouth with the lace showing through. So that's what I started with, and that's what I finished with.
Oh, cool.
So you've got the so you can do a lot of things. You can have it be an underlayment for some sort of a design that you're thinking about doing. So that gives your pumpkin cookie a little bit of a different look, right?
I
So
love that.
that's another way to use it. And then here on the on this like little ball gown, basically this is just let's see, I can show you. Here's what the cookie looked like before I put anything on it, any embellishments. And then I took two hearts and I gave them like a little pleat. I sort of pleated them. And then I used some edible glue and just put a couple drops on there and put it, I'm just holding that with my finger, but you can put some glue on there and you can make a really, a really pretty overskirt on the dress. And then I used another heart and I kind of folded it together to create a lace bodice. And then to sort of hide the seams, I put a royal icing floral transfer right in the middle there.
That's
And then
beautiful.
we'll
We have
talk
a
about
question.
these die cuts in a minute.
One question
Yes,
is Lisa asked how it was when you eat it. How does it chew? Is it chewy? What's the texture like?
it's that's a really good question. I don't really eat these cookies, but I
It's
don't
not
really
really
eat them.
chewy. Yeah, it's not
You
very
sort of
chewy.
watching
We're
my
not good.
weight all the time, so I really don't. I don't know. Maybe I should try it.
It's not really chewy. I wouldn't classify it like that when I've eaten them before. Everybody can chime in because I
No,
know
it's
there's
really
plenty of
chewy.
people. What do you think?
It's it it sort of melts.
And that's what Becky
It
Norton
kind of melts.
just wrote up
It really
right
does.
when you said that.
Now I probably have black teeth, right?
No, beautiful white.
I mean, it kind of melts, but I guess for a cookie like this, it probably is going to be more of a like a showpiece or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one, I definitely think it'd be easier to eat. It's going to probably just dissolve when you're biting into the cookie. But yeah, that's an interesting question. And like I said, I tasted it, and it doesn't really taste like anything. It doesn't taste bad, and it doesn't taste chewy at all. It kind of melts like a wafer, I guess, more than anything. It melts like um, if you're Catholic and had First Communion, it's a lot softer than that. But right away, that wafer just kind of melts in your mouth. So anyway, and then this one here I think is really cute too because I used some leaves, and it's just kind of it's really kind of elegant to have some cookies like that laying out on your cookie tray for your Halloween. So I really think I think you can do a lot with it. Let me get to the Day of the Dead because this guy is really, to me, this is really kind of fun. And when I do this one again, I think I'll leave this part that I did green here. I think I would leave that white because I think that looks better. I have another cookie that I did, and I'm going to tell you the difference in the techniques. I think this one looks better because I left that background white, and that's what I should have done here. But so let me show you what it looks like. So I had a skull shaped cookie, and it was just kind of funny that um, this particular design fit on the cookie pretty well. But it's really easy to apply. So this is, like I said, this is very soft and very forgiving, very easy. All you have to do is take your take your cookie. Now, what you can do, what I have done in the past, is I will flood the cookie, and then I will take the lace and I will just lay it on the end, and I will sort of drop it onto the cookie. And oh, that cookie must have really spread. Drop it right onto the cookie, onto the wet icing. And that's absolutely perfect because you don't have to glue it. You don't have to wait for the glue to dry, and it goes right into the icing. So that's one way to do it. Or what you can do is you can brush it with some corn syrup, or you can brush it with some edible glue, and then just lay this right on top, just like that. Okay, so what I'm going to show you are the two different ways to decorate this particular cookie. So let me move a few things out of the way. Okay. So I think you've probably all heard of these paint your PYO palettes.
Yep.
So that's what I did with this cookie right here. Is I just took a wet brush and I just brushed inside the lines and just, made it look like this. And it's kind of matte. It's a matte finish, but I guess if you wanted to spruce it up a little bit, you could spray it with, while it's still wet, you could spray it with some edible glitter spray, or you could airbrush it with like a pearl just to give it a sheen if you would like to. So that's one simple, easy way to do it. And this would be fun, like if you wanted to do it with your kids, or it's a school project or something like that, definitely using these PYO palettes to paint. This is a great opportunity to do that. But if you would like to take that cookie up a notch, and I'm going to show you the formula to make this really shiny paint. So, okay. So what you do is you take 1 part Everclear. So you can see that. I'm going to move these out of the way a little bit. So you take 1 part Everclear and 1 part corn syrup. And then you put some food coloring in it. Let's see if I can just about. And then I'll pour some corn syrup. And the trick here is to really mix it well with your paintbrush. You definitely need to mix it really well. And then I'm going to add some food coloring. So you've got this nice, but you, like I said, you want to mix it really, really well. So let me turn the alarm off. Okay, the kitchen timer is off, and I've got I took my mat out of the oven, and we'll take a look at that in a minute and see how that came out. We'll take a look at those hearts that we did. So I think you can see that this is nice and mixed in. And then you don't want to have too much on your paintbrush because you're kind of in between these lines. So we're just going to paint this rose. I'm just going to show you how it's going to come out. I think it just looks so beautiful. And it's a little bit forgiving because the lines are black. So if you get it on there, nobody's going to see it. And you can always, if you feel like you haven't gotten enough color, you can always kind of go over it a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? It really
Gorgeous.
pops, right? I mean, it
It's
is so
beautiful.
pretty, I think.
Very vivid.
So you definitely want to use some bright colors in there, but look at that. And look at how it shines. I mean, it really is pretty cool. It's a really pretty cool technique. Again, super easy. It's 1 part Everclear, 1 part corn syrup, just like, you get in the grocery store. And then food coloring. Again, I use the AmeriColor gel color and mix it really, really well. Mix it really, really well and paint with it. I learned that at CookieCon. I think it was Sue Blackman who taught this technique to me, and I just love it. I use it whenever I can. That's where I learned it. So there you
Absolutely
have it.
gorgeous.
And then you can just continue on and use your own imagination on what you'd like to do, what colors you want to use, etc. Does anybody have any questions on that technique?
No, hold on. Something popped up. Go
Nope.
away. Something
Okay.
popped up in bottom. Okay, so Angela, well, a couple questions. Sue says, how long does it take to dry? Does it dry tacky?
Okay. It right. It probably takes a couple of days to dry. Um, it seems very tacky at first. Um, it I wouldn't say it doesn't dry hard. So I have a cookie that I did several years ago, my first cookie con, and I'm going to show it to you. So this cookie is still in existence. This is the one I did at CookieCon with this same technique. Now, I had put some bubble wrap on it, but I put the bubble wrap on it like, I don't know, a couple months ago because I wanted to take it somewhere. And wouldn't you know, it actually made some impression in there.
Kind of
So
pretty.
it's kind of like, it doesn't dry solid, I guess I would say. But yeah, it's solid, but it dries. I mean, it's dry. And this cookie that I did several days ago, it's dry. I mean, it's not going to smudge or smear, but if you dug your nail into it, you're going to make an impression. I guess that's how I can explain it. But I would say
Per-
you want to give it a good 48 hours to dry, and putting it in front of a fan is always going to be helpful.
Perfect. Angela has a question. She says, what a cool technique. I'm wondering if you
Does
could
that
paint
help?
on parchment paper, then peel the Flexfrost off to create a stained glass window.
Ooh, okay, say that again.
Okay, so
Parchment
she
paper.
said, yeah, she said she's wondering if you could paint on parchment paper, then I guess maybe she's putting the Flex Frost on as well. If you could paint on parchment paper, then peel the Flex Frost off to create stained glass windows.
Ooh, You'd have to try that, but you know that might work. I bet you. It might. I don't know if it would peel off. That would be something to try.
Yep. So now you have to
That
try
would
it.
be something
You
to
asked it, you
try.
got to try it. Okay, and then Betty asked
Yep.
if you could freeze these cookies.
Yeah. I mean, I think you know I have not ever frozen this. I have not. I have not. You know, I've never tried that. I I don't think I would have any issue with. I don't think I'd have any issue freezing something like this, where the smart sheet was put on top of wet icing, because it's kind of like it's sort of melded in. It's part of your icing. I don't know how this would freeze,
Yep,
and
you're gonna have
then
to try that too.
I don't know how it would freeze and come out. But these are some good questions. These are some things I would try. Have you ever tried it, Deb,
No, but you gotta remember,
to freeze
I'm
them?
not a decorator, so everybody else is going to answer that. Um, but I don't decorate. I run the business. And so some things I try, like I make Flexfrost, I can do that. I can do the fluff and stuff. I was successful at that. But I guarantee you somebody in this audience has, and they will answer. How's that sound?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. For sure.
Oh,
Okay. So are we ready to move on to a little discussion on some smart sheet tutorial now?
a- absolutely. Let's go.
Is that good?
Perfect.
Okay. 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 And I've got everything set out here so that I can, oops, so that I can show you. Okay. So I have this cute little machine called a Sizzix, and I think technically they call it like it's an embosser, right? I think that's what they call it.
Yep.
And it's got a few parts to it. I'm just moving everything out of the way. I want to make sure you get a good view of what I'm doing here. This stuff out of the way. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll go there. How's that?
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Very good. Okay. So let me. So we start out. Basically, this is an embossing machine. So it does two things. It'll emboss your paper, your edible paper, and it will do cuts for you. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the die cuts. So I'll move this out of the way, but then I'll bring it back. So there's several parts to this piece of equipment. There's a big flat board. That's your base. Then there's they call this the die adapter. You need a certain amount of thickness to go through this machine so that it actually cuts the paper for you. Then you've got an acrylic plate that goes over that. Then on top of that, you put the little pieces that you want cut. So these are called little die cuts, and they're metal, and they have two sides. There's a smooth side. The smooth side goes down. The side with the ridge stays up because it's going to cut. That's what's going to cut the paper when you press it all together. And then your paper is going to be inside the mold. And then you pop those out. So you just lay all your die cuts on here. And then you take your smart sheet. So that's this package here. So here's your Smart Sheet package, Smart Sheet. And it feels like a piece of construction paper is what it feels like. And it's got two sides. There's a shiny side, and then there's the side that's got a texture to it. And I always want the texture side to be the side that I'm going to show on my cookie. So on this cookie, this is the textured side, is facing up. But when you want to emboss it, you're going to put the textured side down on top of your die cuts. So it goes on top. And then you're going to sandwich that together with another piece of acrylic. So you've got your sandwich right here. And then you're going to put it, you're going to slide it into your machine and you're going to crank it. You're going to crank it through. And it's going to cut, it's going to go ahead and it's going to cut your paper using those dies that you put in there. And it just pops out the other end. You take off this and you take off your paper. And they're all your paper, you've got all your little die cuts, and you flip them over, and you've got the textured side is the side you're going to use. So you've got all these cute little designs that come. I think it's just novel. I just love it. All these cute little designs. You can do all kinds of things with these. And I've got a bunch. I'm going to just move over here so I can show you a couple ways that I decorate with them. I've got a bag of them right here. So I made a bunch of these earlier today. So I'm just going to pull some of them out just so that you can see, instead of me spending time trying to get them out of the die there, out of the die cuts, little machinery. Okay.
Now,
so
Shannon,
you got these.
Shannon
and
asked if it's the
you
same.
can do anything
Sorry.
with it. You can.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Shannon
ahead.
asked if it's the same. Shannon asked if it's the same as wafer paper, but it is very different. Do you want to explain that, or you want me to?
Yes, it's different. You can. I mean, yeah.
It doesn't hold
Go
up as
ahead.
well. Yeah, it doesn't hold up as well. Wafer paper does not stand up well to the elements as well as smart sheets do. Smart sheets can handle water and moist environments. It can stand up to that really well, so it can go in and out of the refrigerator, the freezer, room temperature. It doesn't matter. But the smart sheets, as Chef P described, is more like a construction paper, so it's a little more durable.
Yeah, and actually, one thing that I forgot to do is I did spray it earlier, but I forgot to mention that you use some paper potion and you just spray it, and I'll just do one for you just so you can see it, because it gives it some flexibility. So you just take your smart sheet and you just spray it with the paper potion, and it just gives it a little flexibility there. But I did spray it earlier and they came out fine. But that is what you would want to do first. And it does give it, it makes it more flexible and more pliable to use. So then what I did with my little dress here is I took these and I took my brush. These are special brushes that you can get also from Icing Images. Where's my other brush? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to get a piece of paper. So I like to give them a little color. And what's really nice is you can use, this happens to be sterling pearl. You can use, diamond dust, and you use it dry. And what I'll do is I'll put a little into the lid of my container, and then I'll take my brush and I'll dip it in my brush, and then I'll dip it on the paper, because I'm not trying to get, all I'm trying to do is just give a little color to the die cut that I'm going to add to my cookie. It just gives it a little dimension. And you can put it on your cookie, you can adhere it, you can take royal icing and you could, fill in the eyes, you could outline it. So there's various things you can do. I'm not the greatest artist when it comes to having to make designs. Like if I had to draw a bat freehand, that would be a really big problem for me. So I use one of these die cuts, and then I put some color on it, and then I can attach it to my cookie, and then I can use some royal icing and I can go around it, or I can do some embellishments on it, but I have my base design. And you can make you can take a plain cookie and make like a little Halloween scene with these different things, and use some royal icing transfers, royal icing just straight out of the bag to outline, fill in windows, things of that nature. So there's so many things that you can do with these little die cut designs. And so the one cookie that I did is I took the little ghosts and I made them just about the same color as the cup, and I adhered them to it. And it looks like you've got little ghosts floating around in your little latte cup there. So there's a lot of things you can do with these little die cuts. Then there's another technique you can use, which is embossing. And I'll show you how to put that together real quick. And I really love embossing paper because it can make beautiful backdrops for your cookies. So again, you take a smart sheet, and I'm gonna cut this one in half so that it fits in my machine. And I'm going to do a couple for you. So this is the one I used. It's really hard probably to see the design. Maybe you can see that better. So you can see the pumpkins and the Halloween design. So you open up your folder, and this is an embossing folder. You open it up, and this side is raised. So the side that's raised is the side. Let me see if I can remember which way I put it in. Yeah, the side that's raised, the side that is the textured side is going to go down onto that mat. And then you're going to close the lid on it. So I've got to cut a little bit more of this off so it fits. And we've got to cut a little bit more over here. Okay. I did not cut it to size beforehand. Sorry about that. Okay. So you take your embossing folder, and you've got the raised side. You take the textured side and you put it down, and you close the lid. Then you take your block. You don't need that green sheet anymore. And you put the embossing folder in, and then you put the plastic topper on it, and you just run it right through your machine. And these little machines they come from, you can get them on Amazon and they're not expensive at all. And they make some beautiful designs on your, and then you just peel it off and look at that. It's so
Beautiful.
beautiful. And you can put this on a cookie as is. You can cut, a portion of it. Maybe you want to just cut a corner and paste it on your cookie. And then what's really nice about this design and the luster dust is that you can, what I did here is I probably was a little heavy handed, but let's try to do it a little bit lighter. So you take some of that dust on your brush, but you shake some of it off. You don't want it, and then you want to just go lightly across so that it just picks it up on the design. You're not trying to color the whole paper. You're just trying to accentuate the parts that are raised up. And you always want to shake it off a little bit. Otherwise you get like you'll get that blob of color, which is not what you're looking for. So can you see that? You just want the color to pick up so that you can see the different little characters.
Yep.
Really super easy. And I'll do one more quick one because I really love this one. I love this one a lot. This is a great background for so many things. So I'm just going to do a little piece. I'm going to put it in this embosser, which this is so great for so many things. It makes just a beautiful, beautiful background. So put it face down. And then I've got some, and you don't always have to use a dark color. I'm going to show you how to use luster dust, a really light color, just to get a really pretty sheen on it. I need another. Let's see, do I need this one? It's just not quite thick enough. Okay, that looks like that'll work. Might not be quite thick enough. I might have to run it through again. Sometimes these folders are not that thick, and I need another folder. Let's see. Okay. This one I think needs both of the plastic ones. Yeah. No, I guess not. No, it's not going to fit. All right, so maybe that other one was enough. Let's see if we got it to. Let's see if the design came out. Yeah, it did. I guess that's all it needed. So isn't that pretty?
Gorgeous.
I mean, that makes a beautiful background. And then what you can do is take. So I've got diamond white. So this is going to be like white on white. No, it's this side. This is the side. And I have a clean brush because I don't want to use the black. The brush I just dipped in the black. And you can just, oops, can you see that? And look at what a beautiful effect that. Oh, I don't know if you can really see that. It's hard to see.
No, you got the angle.
But it just gives it that you can see the shimmer. So you just get a little shimmer. So it just really gives it a beautiful effect. So that's what I did with, just I love using Smart Sheets. I love using the Flexfrost. There's so much, there's so many things. It's kind of limitless, right? And as you're working around and using, you're like, oh, maybe I could do that with it, or maybe I could do something else. So really, there's no rules for sure. There's no rules.